Good evening, family, and welcome to Open Mic, Open Hearts, where stories heal and voices shine. Now, how has everybody been? I have news to share with you all today. I'm going to let you all know that this episode is a bit of a mixture. It has highs, it has lows, and after that, who knows? But guess what? You all know that I, Terry Tyree, am the president of CCRC, Charlottesville Community Resilience Center, where we strengthen individuals and families facing housing insecurity and related crises by providing coordinated support services, emergency referral navigation, resource navigation, and community-based education that builds resilience and long-term stability. And today, I am honored and very excited to announce that we have been awarded our first grant ever in the amount of $2,800 by United Way of Greater Seaville. I mean, this achievement here is a milestone for our organization. This here, I will not take all the credit. My board members, my volunteers every day, putting in that work, seeking knowledge and sharing information, doing the research, doing the hard things, saying the hard things, and being in the spaces where some people just may not want to be. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You do not understand how excited and how much this means to me, y'all. This is our first grant ever. I'm like, this is going to support our Resilient Families Parent Empowerment and Coaching Program that was supposed to start this May, but unfortunately we couldn't because we didn't have the funding. So we pivoted and brought out our Dirty Word Poetry Program, which we are also very excited about, at the Ravenna Area Queer Center, May 21st and May 25th at 6 p.m. The 25th is Memorial Day, so please bring out your family. Bring out the ones who have served and represented our community, and let's transform those words. Our Dirty Word Poetry Program aims to reclaim those words and transform them into something positive. The words that were used to harm us, to harm other people, and transform them. Broken, hoe, slut, crazy, hey, all of the words, it does not have to have the meaning that they are meant for. We do not have to speak hate towards each other. When you hear it, you will no longer hear pain. You will no longer hear rejection. You will no longer hear whatever they are intending you to hear. You will feel that power, that positivity, and through this program that we are introducing to you all at the RAC Center, we hope to connect our community and build more positive and greater people that are willing to lead and connect and collaborate. So with that being said, I would also like to reach out to you all. I know I said it on the last episode, but June 22nd through August 2nd, we are doing a partnership program with KIP, possibly at JMRL. We want to encourage our youth to start their own businesses, but not just start their own businesses, to serve, to volunteer. Having a nonprofit isn't about getting paid. Having a nonprofit isn't about letting everybody get clout and see what you can do. It's about serving. It's about doing what your higher power, what God had put you on here to do. And that's what CCRC is all about, giving the opportunities, bridging the gaps, empowering people, because we all got it in us. Like, look at where I came from. Come on, y'all know me. Like, it's been a long road. It's been a hell of a journey, but I'm here. And I brought so many people with me, and I'm not done yet. And so please, with that being said, email me at charlottesvilleresilience@gmail.com. We have board opportunities available. Every day we have volunteer opportunities available. If you just feel like there's something missing, if there's a void that you feel may be unfulfilled, reach out, because I'm pretty sure you can fill up on your community in any way, whether it's with us or connecting you with someone else or a local church. Just reach out at charlottesvilleresilience@gmail.com. And again, I would really like to thank United Way of Greater Charlottesville for this opportunity and for seeing us and seeing our mission, seeing our vision, and putting that step behind us so we can take the next step. I really, oh my gosh, like to be seen. That's what Open Mic, Open Hearts is all about. And today, y'all, I feel seen. Oh my goodness. December 2nd, I came in here. I spoke to David about starting this program, Open Mic, Open Hearts. And I thought it just like a nonprofit. I thought I had to come in here with the whole proposal. I had written it out, Open Mic, Open Hearts talk show. And I broke it down to him, and David had a smile on his face the entire time. I mean, he was just so excited, and I was nervous the entire time, telling him about it. And then at the very end, when he said, "This is a wonderful idea," immediately I knew that I could make people feel as seen as I always wanted to feel. Give them the space to feel heard. And now I have a place, I have a space to be heard, to be seen. And now not just by Open Mic, Open Hearts, not just by Charlottesville Media Center, not just by my community, but by myself. I sit at home and I watch these shows when it airs. I go on Facebook first and I tell y'all, come on y'all, it's about to come on. So follow us at Open Mic, Open Hearts on Facebook. But I do, I go on there, I tell y'all, come sit down, watch with us. And then I watch myself on TV and I'm like, is that me? Like, what? Like, I never used to go out. I was so shy. I still consider myself to this day as an introvert. And so to feel so loved and to feel so heard, to be able to get this stuff out, it has been healing. It has been a move that I feel like everyone should take and make. The opportunity is yours. So before I get into the nitty gritty, I would like to bring a guest onto my show. His name is Arthur Allen, a wonderful member of CCRC, secretary of CCRC, Charlottesville Community Resilience Center, but also the love of my life. Welcome, Arthur. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Now, I know y'all see these ugly yellow pieces of paper in front of us, but we'll get to that. First, Arthur, please tell us who you are, what do you do?
My name is Arthur Allen, and I'm a board member of the Charlottesville Community Resilience Center. I'm just a man trying to make a difference with this organization because I know they do a lot to help individuals.
Absolutely. What is your passion? What brought you to CCRC? And don't say me.
that's half of it. So. No, but what brought me to Charlottesville City Resilience was I see that Charlottesville Community Resilience Center, I see that they're making a big difference in people's lives. They go to the Rivanna Trail, the Haven, the downtown mall, and wherever they can go to help individuals that's struggling with homelessness, being unhoused. And I just want to be a part of that, make a difference in people's lives.
And one of our most newest additions to our committees are the Restorative Justice Committee. Would you like to explain what about that excites you for being the leader of the Restorative Justice Committee?
What excites me about being a member of the Restorative Justice Committee is helping individuals when they come home with reentry and finding stable housing and getting everything they need to survive out here in this, especially in Charlottesville, but getting everything they need to survive out here in the world, because I know it's probably hard for them.
Absolutely. And if you could, how has CCRC helped out you and your family, or you with your goals?
Oh, just yesterday, I lost my ID, so Miss Tyree helped me get involved with an organization to help me get my ID and everything that I needed. And also, my niece, she was adopted, and she's been struggling with being able to get her paperwork for, to start working and everything. She's only 20 years old. Since she was adopted and her name was changed, she's been struggling with that. But Miss Tyree came up with a resolution, and within no time now, all my niece is doing, she's waiting on her ID to arrive so she can start working and everything.
Absolutely.
So she do a lot for all the communities, and she do a lot.
Thank you. But we do a lot.
Yeah, we do a lot.
So with that being said, I do want to speak on something very concerning that happened to me, but that may also have happened to you. And so this is what Open Mic, Open Hearts is all about. Not just sharing your highlights and your talents, but being a quiet, comfortable space for you to express these concerns without fear of judgment, rejection, or being arrested. Okay? So, May 11th, we were in a serious car accident on 250 bypass. I mean, I got hit rear-ended, then went into a bread box. I believe it was Nature's Own. Don't give me the line, but it was a big white truck that then slammed into me, threw us over the median, right?
Yes.
And then once we got over the median, an Amazon delivery truck knocked us into his side, the passenger side, and knocked us clean back over on top of the median. And it was so bad. We are lucky to be alive. Even his niece was in the car that day, and we were on the way to UVA Orthopedics when this happened. And we all suffered, not just physically, but emotionally. Some of you may know that I have an unknown seizure disorder, and it's been controlled since I've had my second-born prince. But unexpectedly, during this accident, I had seizure activity and was taken to UVA Medical Center. I don't believe they asked me. I'm not sure if they had asked me, because I believe I was postictal during.
They definitely didn't. I was right there.
They didn't?
No.
They didn't ask what hospital I had wanted to go to. And I believe Charlottesville Police Department had arrived on the scene. And immediately my clothes were cut off by EMS. I remember not being able to move. My left side was so sore. I was laying in, I think, rocks and debris. And I got into the EMS. I mean, he told me everything was showing at the beginning. It was just them cutting my dress. And then upon arrival at the hospital.
Yeah. Yeah, like when you was in the ambulance, you were good, like as far as your clothes. But when you got to the hospital, I had to follow in the hospital because in the ambulance because they let my niece get into the ambulance with you. Only one individual. So I followed behind with another EMS or EMT. And when we got to the hospital and they finally got you in the room, your dress was cut. It was hiked up. Your private parts showing and stuff. And they've had 2 male EMTs in the room. So I put your dress down and then they hooked you up to the machines and everything. And then with them moving you from the stretcher to the bed, your clothing was hiked back up and everything was showing. And then you started to pull it down, and it wasn't helping you. So I stepped over and pulled your stuff down, and it was just ridiculous. That right there already,
It's traumatic. I mean, like, and not just for me as a woman, but for my partner. That was a lot. And then so after all that, I do remember them coming into, at once we were at UVA, coming into the room and cutting off my bra straps. And then I had like a crop top with the hood on it. They cut that off. And then they completely cut my dress off and put everything in a bag. And then asked me, do you want us to keep it or do you want to take it home? What? Why do you want to keep my clothes? They kept my placenta. So I didn't, I'm gonna take them home. No, I'm not gonna sew them back together, but you can't have them. I don't know why. Then after that, and after explaining to them, you know, he was explaining to them, well, her stuff keeps showing. They put a gown on me. I couldn't really move much. I had a neck brace on. My neck was pretty sore, and I didn't feel like I needed a neck brace. I felt like the neck brace was doing more harm than good, but they had to do a CT scan on my spine and chest to make sure, and my brain to make sure that before I could take the neck brace off. I couldn't eat anything before the CT. We know the process. And most of the time it take about 4 hours, or that's what they'll tell you, or even that's what's posted on the wall for a CT scan or X-ray scan to come back. And that's what I expected.
At one point they had a nurse come in there. First of all, they took your blood 3 times.
Oh yeah, let's not forget about that.
Yeah. But at one point, one of the first nurses that came in there, the first nurse that came in there, I don't know what she had going on, but she tried your right arm, and she said she couldn't get blood. So she came to your left arm and got blood out your left arm. But then another nurse came in there, a male nurse, to get blood again. So I spoke to him, I said, well, you know, they already got blood from Miss Tyree. So he said, well, that blood, the doctor came in and got blood from you 2nd time. The 3rd time, it was the male and came and got blood. So I said, you know what, they already got blood from her twice already. So he said, well, at one time it clotted up on the way upstairs or wherever they take your blood to. So
that's what the doctor said.
Yeah. So then you was saying something about not being able to feel like your arm was going numb. So we was checking to see your left arm, like what was going on, and the first nurse that had came in had left the tourniquet on your arm.
Yes. So while I was laying in the bed after so many tries, the first time they did get blood through the IV, and then after so many times, they had to call the community partner to come in with the IV specialist, the actual ultrasound to find my veins. And yeah, that was the male. And he was even there for about 7 minutes looking for my veins, and I felt my left arm going numb. And I was like moving, and it was so painful. And I had told him, and he looked at my arm, and the tourniquet was still there for about a total of 20 minutes. And when he took it off, he said, yeah, oh, she left that on there? Yeah, go ahead and take it off. And then went into the hallway and laughed about it. Yes. With this compatriots. I don't know if it was nurses, doctors, whoever. But ultimately, this conversation is being brought up because these pieces of paper right here, these papers are a trespass warning received by the University of Virginia police on the day of admittance to the emergency room after our car accident. First of all, being the one that was in the accident and that needed emergency care, I feel completely disrespected.
She had a seizure?
I feel completely disrespected. I mean, even if I made a mistake, you know what just happened to me.
It was no mistake.
Seizure activity in the car accident. The doctor came in and said the scans originally were consistent with, the brain scans were consistent with whiplash, and then told me there was scattered fragment, basically false scans. Then she tells me that there's a node, a B9, something on my left lung.
Said they hoping it's B9.
Saying they hoping it's B9 on my left lung. After telling me that I was waiting for so long, let me tell you why we have these charges. Why we, not charges, because y'all know I'm playing with the system. I'm a member of the NAACP. You will not see me back in ACRJ unless it's to help my people.
And I'm a citizen.
Period. We are citizens. But this trespass warning, after being in the room requesting my CT scans, I had to use the bathroom. They took so long, I had to go. Okay, when you gotta go, you gotta go. So I get up and I went. Arthur came, he helped me to the bathroom. And Bella, our niece, who was also in the car accident, who received little to about 45 minutes worth of treatment. Nowhere near compared to extensive as mine, but she was hit on the passenger side and only received 45 minutes of treatment. But that's not my story to tell.
Half of that treatment was her sitting in the hallway.
Yeah, and she was sitting in the hallway for half that treatment. But that's concerning in itself. But I go to the bathroom and the doctor comes in coincidentally while I'm away and speaks and tells her, well, doesn't say, she comes in. I come back from the bathroom and Bella tells me that a woman came to my room. I hit the call bell and I asked for the woman who came to my room while I was in the bathroom. The young lady gets snippy and says, "I'll get your nurse." I stated my nurse is a male, and that was not the woman that came into my room when I was in the bathroom. She hangs up. Why you do that? So I hit the call bell again. This time I have my phone in my hand. I do. And I waited at my door with my phone in my hand to see who answers the call bell. Once I saw who answered the call bell, I walked up to the window and I asked why did she do that. That was very disrespectful. She asked me, what do I need? My nurse sees me speaking to her through the window with my phone in my hand and then comes and asks me, what do I need? I again told them I'm looking for the young lady who came into my room while I was in the bathroom. After saying that and speaking to my nurse, she's walking up behind him, and then my niece tells me, oh yeah, there she is. I'm like, okay, that's all I needed. I go back in my room, I'm speaking to the doctor, and we are now in the room recording what the doctor is saying. The security officer dressed in blue, no names need to be mentioned today. The security officer comes to my room while I'm recording and talking to my doctor and states that we cannot record in the hallways, but we can record in the rooms. And that he had got a call that we were recording in the hallways and that his supervisor instructed him to go through our phones and delete the video. I'm an African-American minority woman. The security officer is at my door after an accident. This is not the first time, security officer, I was tackled at UVA Medical Center for trying to leave by security officers, male officers. At this point, I am intimidated. So I had to stop the conversation with my doctor and ask the security officer after he requested to see the footage, do you have a search warrant? He stated, no, I was instructed by my supervisor, as I told you. If you are recorded in the rooms, that's fine. If you recorded in the hallways, you need to delete the footage or leave the hospital. And talking to Arthur and Bella. Arthur was actually more than willing to show him the video footage. And he did. And they did not see that we recorded anything in the hallway. And then the officer instructed him to delete the video. You just told me that we can record in our rooms and not the hallway. So we told him we was not deleting the video. Thus, Bella and Arthur left out of the hospital room, leaving me alone, raising my anxiety. Again, I've had situations at UVA with these security officers. So after a terrible accident, I left UVA hospital with no discharge papers and intimidated. No real results about what happened to my body after the accident, and I'm still in pain. I requested Arthur to go back to the hospital after walking, because you know you can't get a Medicaid cab if you leave AMA. So after walking, I requested Arthur to go back and get my discharge papers. I really need my discharge papers. On his way back, UVA Police Department stops him and issues him a violation, a trespass order stating that you are not to come on any property or facility on the grounds of the University of Virginia, except as a patient at the University of Virginia Medical Center. Why? The following reasons is because violation of university, health system, or medical center policy after having been notified of the specific policy or policies, effective until rescinded in writing by the Associate Vice President or their designee. And then issued all three of us the same paper, when only one person had evidence of a video on their phone. The UVA police claimed that they had witnesses. Again, this says after having been notified. We made no recordings, no videos after he stated we weren't allowed to record in the hallways, but can record in our rooms. Once you told us that, we didn't delete the video that was recorded in our room. Now I can't go back to UVA unless it's an emergency. With so much I do in this community, share your stories. We shared ours.
Yeah.
We are coming up with a campaign. I know you all may have seen it on Facebook, but this is not right. We're already being displaced. LV Collective. We're already being displaced. They already don't pay taxes. They've already taken over. Don't let them do this to me. Don't let them do this to you. And don't let it happen to your families, neighbors, and children. What happened to us was not right. The policy was not posted, and we did not break the policy after it happened. Please advocate for yourselves. Please advocate for us. Please make sure that you are protecting yourselves.
Y'all definitely gotta step up because for real, my niece ain't but 20 years old. Our niece isn't but 20 years old. She's never had any interactions with police or anything like that. But I know that night my niece was scared just because of the way the security officer and the staff at UVA responded to basically nothing. And if we don't stop that from happening to your kids, then it's gonna keep happening.
Thank you so much for being here today and expressing your concerns and telling your side, because it really matters, and that's what we need.
Of course.
And thank you all for being here today with sincerity, love, and gratitude. See you all next time on Open Mic, Open Hearts.